He say, she say, we say, I say, hearing out them points of views when I see it my way. Yes it goes, yes it knows, maybe so's, probably not, shoulds and coulds, do's and don'ts, your wills and won'ts is how you rock. Politicians and religions, on your house or are you renting? Is you married, is you single, meta interest when you mingle, turn out to be someone you into, so how long before the bed get wrinkled? Children when they tripping, is it time out or do you whip them? Opinions and decisions, hunches, intuitions, may or may not get it, cause people's experience different. Check the prejudice at the door. Speak the mind, you give the flow. Tell the truth if it's sweet or sour, cause the hour we spitting that fire.
Hi everyone, this is Spitfire coming to you with another one. You are to be over the age of 18 when you listen to my videos. Okay, and visit my channel. I use aggressive language, aggressive tone, plenty of cuss words. This is Spitfire. What do you think we're going to get? Do not listen to my videos around anyone under the age of 18. Please make sure you read the disclaimer in the description below. So we're going to get started. Now, I've had a conversation recently about this R. Kelly case. And there's just a lot of things that I think people now understand. And people forget that R. Kelly is being detained on hearsay. It's like accusations. And they not understanding that. Like, you have to understand these cases and these claims and these charges are years old. So this is a hearsay case only because people and real victims want to be believed. And so people change the law so they can be believed, and people are more sympathetic to people who claim that they're a victim, and people are not understanding that this is different than a murder, okay, where there is ballistics and blood and all. This is simply hearsay. So you have a man detained on hearsay, and a lot of people can't understand that. They want to know the truth, and you can't have a truth with this type of charges. You understand? It was me in the tape. It wasn't me in the tape. It was her. It wasn't her. She said it wasn't her. He bribed her. It's a hearsay. And so I had this conversation the other day, and I think that this person really didn't just get it. You know, they just wasn't getting it, because I think they was more dealing with blood and ballistics and police brutalities and stuff that you can actually physically see. You know what I mean? And it's hard. But you have to understand that they arrest him on what was said on Lifetime. And so that's how you have to unravel this whole situation with the hearsay and what was said. Because you can't say one thing on a TV series and then another thing on social media. Because it still have to play out in court, right? Well, we have her on the left, Tarana Burke, and then we have Lisa Borders. Now, where is Lisa Borders? Nobody heard from her since she stepped down as CEO of Time's Up, which went hand in hand with Me Too, that is on the left, okay, UGMO. Now, we know that these people are selectively wanting to help who they call victims. And the victims and real victims are so, whatever, just so shallow thinking that they don't care. They don't care their narrative been stole. They don't care they've been used. I mean, I guess I'm just a different type of species, because I would be mad as hell at these broads right about now. But then we have Gerald Griggs. Now, I done did some things about Gerald Griggs. Now, Gerald Griggs, okay, Gerald Griggs was the co-founder of Mute R. Kelly, one of the founders, okay, of Mute R. Kelly. But he's also one of the NAACP representatives, okay? And he's also a lawyer, right? And R. Kelly has been detained on hearsay. Now, if R. Kelly wanted the NAACP to sit up there and get involved and look at this case, well, that would be a conflict of interest, considering the fact that the man who actually tried to put him there, who's supposed to fight for civil rights of all people, especially people of color and minorities, is the very man that helped put him there. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Like, where they do that? This is the organization supposed to help you when the law don't do right by you, but then he was the one who's behind it. Got it. And I actually did a breakdown on Mr. Griggs. So Mr. Griggs is also the attorney to the accusers. Okay? The accusers. He's also the attorney to them. And he recently came out, like maybe a couple months ago, and said, right after Tasha K said that she was going to expose them, that R. Kelly is being detained because his career as a singer was just a front to get young girls that wasn't even born then, that's on this charge now, women that he didn't know. He's had over a 30-year career in singing, but Mr. Griggs wants you to think that 30-year career was only to get young girls. And there's only, 6 charges? 6 women. There's not a parade of women like Bill Cosby, and Bill Cosby is innocent too, but Harvey Weinstein, Epstein, there's not a slew of women like it is here. But this man on the left wants you to think his career was just a front. Forget all the people he helped get on the charts. Forget all the people whose careers he revamped. Forget all the hits he made. All that was a front. Just so they can lie and say that he did all that just to sex traffic young girls that went to his concert. His concert. Damn, Gerald Griggs. Well, you need to get your shit together, brother. You just lied. Just lied. So I often told you guys about the law. I told you that I explained this picture to you many times. I said when she blindfolded, she's supposed to be bias free. Well, we know these judges ain't been bias free. And the scale's supposed to be level. Well, we know the scale ain't been level because R. Kelly has been denied bond on hearsay. There's not a preponderance of evidence that was given to the judge to the nature of these charges. Well, the judge didn't take into consideration that these charges were just that, charges. And the fact that he has beat the charges before and all this and that, well, we know that the judge was a conflict of interest considering the fact that Obama was the one who appointed her, okay, initially, and then all this other links that I have did. You got to go back and see the breakdown, okay? So he's charged with a Mann Act, right? Mann Act, right? And this stuff, I have often told you guys about this Mann Act. And I'm not understanding why many of you have not understood what it is that I was saying. I've often told you about the 3/5 rule. People came out here, oh, it was abolished in 1865 or 19 whatever, whatever. And they didn't understand me when I was talking about what I was talking about. And I said that these laws stemmed from a Negro man will rape a white woman. Even if the laws is for the same color now, it stems by him being the rapist. And now they can use his woman against him because we will sell out our own. We've been doing this since slavery. So we don't need the white woman no more, so they can't use the race card. You get what I'm saying? And I've often tried to tell you guys, don't do it. It don't matter if you think he's guilty. Don't do it like this. Often told you, this is not how you want to do it. Not how you want to do it at all. But you guys did it. And where did it get you? Where did it get you? Well, let me read something to you. And then I'm going to come back more with my commentary. Okay, so this is by Fines Law's team, okay? And this is what is Mann Act, okay? And this is something that R. Kelly is, being charged with and stuff like that. And I'm not going to read all of it to you, but it has been amended since then. But I'm going to read the parts into which I believe it is related to the past commentary that I have given you about these laws, okay? And a lot of times with these laws, people think because they feel like it's abolished or it's been amended or all these things that is no longer being practiced in the way into which it was born. And we're going to talk about that a little later, but I'm just going to read the beginning. But it's not like that as of today as it reads. As I mentioned, it's been amended. But I'm going to read you this, and then I'm going to go and finish with my commentary. But it says, what is Mann Act? Okay? And this was just updated like 2 years ago, right? And this, if you know, it was updated right after they was charging R. Kelly with all these Mann Acts. And it says, boxer Jack Johnson, okay, Jack Johnson, the first African American to hold the world's heavyweight title, was accused in 1912 of violating the Mann Act, a law meant to prohibit sex trafficking, but once used as a weapon of racism. So this is what, okay, you heard me now, because I've been telling you guys this. I was the first on the scene to tell you this for the last 2.5 years, okay, as a weapon of racism, all right? His alleged crime was the kidnapping of Lucille Cameron, a white woman whose relationship with Johnson was consensual. The two married in 1912, but the sinister intent of this and many other Mann Act's prosecution was to punish black men for violating the norms of white society. Okay? The law referred to as the White Slave Traffic Act at the time was amended a few times since in enactment in 1910 and is no longer used to justify the persecution and marginalized of individuals. Okay? Marginalized, I'm sorry. Below, we'll take a look at the Mann Act as originally passed and used by federal prosecutors, how it has changed through the years related to laws and more. Okay? So, and these are some of the things that it was used, okay? You get what I'm saying? And I'm going to read this one. The racially charged term white slavery refers to a woman being kidnapped and forced into prostitution, overhyped through a wide circulation of pamphlets in 1909 after a persuasive and depraved conspiracy to deduct American girls. Also leading up to the Mann Act was a trend to previously tolerate local governments shutting down brothels and other legal protected areas of prostitution. Meanwhile, women began to have such more autonomy over their careers and courtship activities. Okay? So if you was courting someone, then that was it. All right? Okay? Then it went on to say, in the background lurked Jim Crow law and racist hysteria over black men preying on white women. Since interracial marriages and a romantic relationship in general was still illegal at the time and wouldn't be overturned rationally until 1967, some prosecutors used the Mann Act to go after individuals such as Johnson, who was convicted in 1913 for his relationship with a white prostitute, Belle Schreiber. Okay? Donald Trump pardoned Johnson, okay, posthumously in 2018. Posthumously 2018. Okay, so, and then here's this thing. So I'm going to get into commentary again, and I'm going to snap this picture and I'm going to leave it up. All right. See, this is the reason why I read that to you guys is because for the last 2.5, almost close to 3 years in a minute, is what I've been telling you guys. I did many videos about this in 2019, early 2020 about Emmett Till and all this and that. And people over there with the ops call me Harriet Tubman and all this and that, but this is real. This is real. I showed you that those laws, even the 3/5 rule, people say it was abolished and it was this and it was that. That's not the point. The point is a lot of times when you plant a seed, okay, when you plant a seed, it manifests into a tree, Okay? It does. So in other words, there's leaves fall out of it, but there's more leaves that grow on it. So in other words, it get amended, but there's still people that sit up there and know about this and treat this as if it was back in those days. And that's what I'm trying to get you. They didn't get rid of the law and made a whole new law. They amended what was already there. In other words, added. Well, we can't do that no more, but we did this. But the root is still there. If you want to get rid of toxic stuff, you get rid of it. And you just put new laws into effect. And you don't continue to call it Man Act, which was once called White Slaves Act. What? And then it was used as a weapon to get them. And I told you that. And when I read that to you and I told you that. I broke down these laws to you for a reason. A reason. I told you I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. And that's why I can't mess with the other side. Because anytime you know this, I don't care what you think somebody done. I don't care if you think they're guilty. I'm not going to ever solidify this right here. I won't give you my man for this right here. If I thought he was guilty, I'd let Junebug and them take him in the alley and break some legs before I give you him under this right here. You get what I'm going with this? And then women, you often use their emotion because they've been a victim of rape. But this right here, what do you think these white men were doing to you when this was right here was going on? They were raping us too. Don't be fooled. Don't let your emotions get the best of you, because you got to understand, the person who raped you, you let go free because you didn't say nothing. And I'm talking about the ones who uncle is still coming over and the ones who actually molested them and they ain't say nothing, but they want R. Kelly to go to jail because they uncle did something to them, but they still eating dinner with the motherfucker. I'm talking to you. Okay? I'm talking to you. Because this white woman that I just showed you guys, Carolyn Dunham, that white woman I just showed you, she accused Emmett Till of that, backwards of that, saying he whistled at her. And in those days, you would get killed and he was murdered. And I showed you a picture of what they did to him. When we gonna learn not to give the law our men? And when we gonna learn not to sell them out for that mighty dollar? The dollar that you gonna spend on the next weave. Then your conscience go, when the money go, now you got a conscience. But it's too late. You ruin someone's life. You gotta reap that, women. Then you talk some, well, men did this, men did it. Don't be worse than them, women. Now, if you didn't think that what I was telling you about the 3/5 rule was correct, if you didn't think anything else, you should have knew that I, Spitfire, know what the fuck I am talking about on these YouTube streets when I make videos like this. People can say stuff abolished all they want. This has been amended many times. The seed was planted. All these laws pertaining to sex crimes was stemmed from a black man will rape a white woman. The only difference now is that they're not using the white woman no more. She still throw around her white privilege. She still accused her black men because of these laws that she knew that was prevalent to her. But then we jumped on board and helped them do that to our men. So I'm supposed to, because he rich, I'm supposed to help you destroy him. No. Never that. Never that. Never that. You get what I'm saying? It don't matter about that. Does not matter that these laws was amended. That seed is still there. That's the root of all these sex crimes. Rape is only against the law because what a black man might do to a white woman. And then you black women jumped on board. You sit up there and march in the streets with Me Too. They even stole her damn movement and she told you about it. It was supposed to be helping little black girls in the neighborhood. And what the white women do? They stole that shit from Tarana Burke. They stole it. So what that tell you? What does that tell you? And now we're using that for our own. They got rid of how to play the race card. Jim Crow. How to turn us against one another. All that mentality. And y'all still do this shit to this day. To this day. With all these charges. And then more y'all come out, especially when he rich. But the poor ones ain't coming out. I ain't never seen an increase in the working class when it comes to molestation, rape, or any type of sexual mishap because of these movements. Only the rich and powerful. As y'all said on these YouTube sis, make that shit make sense. So, this is one of the reasons why I can't fuck with the ops. Call me what you want to, I can't fuck with you. I can't fuck with you. When you say, oh, I'm helping these girls, somebody got to believe them. Why? Why? Many of them said that their uncles did something to them or they was molested many times. And you and none of y'all helped put their asses in jail. Why is the famous one got to go, but the one that raped you, they ain't got to go? Answer these questions with me. Why must you believe her and not him? Why? Why do you have to? Why? It was all good when she was getting a check. It was all good when they was getting money. Why it ain't all good now? You people need to answer these questions because you let these people tell y'all stuff, ruin. We're not going to have no famous black men. No rich black men. Nothing for our younger men to look up to know that they can do it. Not to just be role models, but to say, I want to be a ball player. I want to be a musician. I want to be a governor. How they going to do that when they can be just charged with rape and it's over? Is this what we came to? Is this what we came to? Are we so liberal minded to and so naive and closed to that? Really? We closed to common sense now? Logic is no more. Just believe her because so many ain't been believed. How long do y'all think this gonna last? Because this is just part one on what I'm gonna do. Part two gonna be something totally different, but it's gonna be related to this. Because you women forgot you got loved ones too now. You rape victims, you got babies and went on with your life too. God forbid you got a boy. You often tell us, what if you had a daughter? Well, what if you have a son? What if you grow up to be a ball player? Handsome, attractive. Get with a girl, he don't want her no more. Rape. Are you going to tell your son you believe her because you was a rape victim? Are you going to tell your son you believe the woman who charged him with rape because you was a rape victim? I've often told somebody, well, what if it was your son? Well, what if my son, he'll go to jail? or he'll just go to jail. But what if he told you, Mama, I didn't do it? You gonna believe the girl over somebody you birthed? Really? Really? So if he was your son, let me tell you, look at this picture right here. If he was your son and he wouldn't grow up to be a ball player, because he's a handsome fellow, and this was in the 50s, right? And he want to grow up and be a ball player, and a girl say he raped them, you gonna believe her because you was a rape victim, right? Because you told me, one of the women told me, well, if it was my son, he'd go to jail. Oh, really? He'd just go to jail. So you just gonna believe a woman and not your own child? I find that hard to believe. Because as I mentioned earlier in this video, Lisa Borders didn't do that. She stepped down and said, fuck this damn movement. I'm gonna stand by my son. Because she never thought it would be her son. She believed her son. But what happened to the women? What happened to the little black girls in the neighborhood? Oh, not when it came to her baby, though. Everybody else's baby can be a rape victim, but not her baby. Think about that. Think about that. Leave a message below. Peace.